Hello, 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 hello. Right, I think I've got the sound sorted out this week. Oh, I really hope so. Definitely clicked on new buttons. So I should be coming to you live from the north of Scotland. I've shut the window so you can't hear the tractor or the birds. This is like a professional outfit now. So come on, let's go. Right. Here we are. We're doing a live stream because it's Thursday and it's 2 o'clock in the United Kingdom up here in northern Scotland. What have we got on the agenda this week? Usual stuff. We have task of the week. We have reporting spotlight. We have from our own correspondence where we go through our mailbag of the week to see if there are any gems that everyone can learn from. We've got some what's news and a power move. And then I'm going to mix it up a bit for next week. We're going to do something a little bit slightly different next week, so I'll let you know about that later on. Right, task of the week. What do we got? I mean, it's not the most exciting task of the week. We're not going to speed run a royalty run like we've done in the past. We're not going to create a 1,000 record catalogue, but we are going to add an audiobook cover because sometimes you just have to make sure that all of the things that we think of as being a bit, nuts and bolts, bread and butter, are as covered as the other things. Yeah, so I'm going to add an audiobook cover to a work that has some products which are audiobooks and some products which are more paperback shaped. And, it's just not cool if you go to an audiobook retailer and you see B format sized book covers. I mean, that's not how audiobooks happen. They are square because CDs are square. And even if it's a digital download, we're used to seeing audiobooks being square. So that's what we're going to do. Let us go over to Consonance and choose a book to do, and we're going to do Shakespeare versus Cthulhu. As usual, I am on my local development system because then I can add data without worrying that I'm breaking anything on my real production site. But I am going to show you a couple of different ways to get to Shakespeare versus Cthulhu if you don't see that you visited this particular work on your homepage. So I've definitely been to this work recently, and that means I'm going to be able to take advantage of the recently visited works menu, which is up here at the top left. If I click on that, sure enough, there is my work up there, and clicking on it will take me to the overview page. All roads lead to the same place, really. If I can spell Cthulhu, then I'm going to be able to see Shakespeare versus Cthulhu up here, and any other records that have Cthulhu in the title or the subtitle. Quality publishing, don't you agree? And I could also go to the reporting area and search for products where a title contains Cthulhu or Cthulhu, that sort of thing. But let's just get there, because we are not doing navigation today, we are adding an audiobook cover. So I've landed on the overview page and I'm going to be taking myself to the metadata page. So I can either tab through or I can click on metadata. That's going to take me to the page. Again, apologies for the flash of installed content, but we're on the development machine today, so we're going to be seeing that. Right, so we go to files because a piece of artwork is a file. And here we can see that we've got an approved cover. Certainly from the thumbnail, it looks quite B formatty. And we can see that it is applied to the paperback, the hardback, the paperback, and the digital book. There's a sense here that it's greyed out for the audiobooks. And sure enough, if I click on the expanded view to see all of my information a little bit more clearly, I can see that this file applies to hardback, B format and EPUB. It does not apply to the CD audio and the downloadable audio file. So the first thing to know, I suppose, is that you can have multiple covers on a work. And those covers can apply to one or more products, but you can sort of mix and match them. So let's upload this audiobook file. And I've just, there isn't actually in real life, there isn't actually an audiobook version of this. So I've just gone to Photoshop and created a quick one. My art skills are usually a bit stronger than that. And I am going to have to restart. I remember now, I'm going to have to restart my server because I've done a migration. So you're going to look at my face for a moment whilst I quickly restart my development server. Talk amongst yourselves. So what we are going to be doing, I'm talking and typing at the same time. That's the button to press. What we're going to be doing is uploading this new artwork file. It can have a status of approved or draft. It can also, as we're saying, be associated with multiple different products on the same work. And this sort of pattern is used in a couple of different places. It's used on files. It's used on sorry, I'm back in the room now, so I'm just going to switch back there. It's used on files, it's used on contributors, and it's used in any places where, yes, by default, the work is going to hold the piece of data, and that is most usual and most sort of efficient, because then you don't have to type in a lot of information time and time again. But sometimes there are some edge cases, and this is one of those examples, where you do need to have more information than just that stuff at the work level. So let's go. So we're on this bit of the page again. Add an artwork file, and I'm going to say that it is a front cover. I'm going to say that the status is approved. I can have multiple of these files. You see, I can have an approved, a draft. I can have them associated with different products. I can have different types of file as well. So you can absolutely add as much or as little as you want. And then I'm going to choose the file. I could upload it from a URL, that would be fine. I think I called it Shakespeare versus Cthulhu, and I called it audio. There we go, lovely stuff. So there's my little audio file. And then here at the bottom of this form are some product options. So I am going to say this is not for the hardback, it's not for the paperback, it's not for the EPUB, but it is for the 2 audio files. Press save, and that's going to upload. And then we have a cover that is associated with the 2 audiobooks, and a cover that is associated with the 3 physical printed books. So that is that really. Let's just have a look at other places on the metadata page where we see that pattern, where you can opt products in and out. And contributions is the one I'm thinking here. So, these are opted into the physical, but not to the audiobook. So Consonance is all about making sure that we only enter data once, really. It would be very odd if we found ourselves uploading 6 different JPEGs for 6 different products. No, we want to maximise efficiency to save our fingers, to save our time, but also to save on data error, to save on storage costs, to do our bit to, try not to burn the planet any more than we have to with server time. It all adds up. So, we're very keen that there's lots of reasons for efficiency, and this is one of them. So that is uploading an audiobook cover, and we've done a lovely job there. If there are any other areas where you think, gosh, data at the work level is all well and good, but what about at the product level? And can we clump data at sort of multi-product level within a work. I mean, the thing that springs to mind, to be honest, is in royalties, where you might have an escalator that a volume escalator. So when you sell copies of your ebook, your PDF, and your Mobi, all of those sales on those three products contribute to one escalator. And so you're thinking about, a work with a clump of products in it, and maybe those products would be treated separately from the paperback or the hardback. So there's always these interesting groupings of works and their products, but within that product set, clumps of behaviour. So if you're ever, curious, musing about any other areas of that sort of thing, then it's always interesting to talk about, isn't it? So do write in support@Consonance.app, and there will be a cheerful person to say, great idea, we'll do it next week. Right, reporting spotlight. Look at all these words. Today in the reporting spotlight, we are going to identify forthcoming and recently active open access ebooks with an ISBN assigned that are not on Jstor's Path to Open programme and which haven't been sent to one academic ebook aggregator. Gosh, what a specific query, you think. I wonder where she got that from. That sounds like that's happened in the last week, and you would be entirely right, dear viewer. This is from LinkedIn, and this is David here saying exactly these words, because we were called on to do it for a particular use case that we had this end. And if you want to know what Jstor's Path to Open is, then there it is on the internet. Go to their website and have a read. So this is what we ended up doing, and I've taken a screenshot and redacted it because it's really quite interesting. Let me check I'm showing the right screen. Yes, I am. So this is the end result, and we're going to break it down a little bit. We have got here, zooming. We have got here a report that has got 3 different search conditions. The first search condition is that the records that we get back are not in any of the records that we get back from another search, another work search. And so there's a lot sort of tucked into that, isn't there? And what we'll have to do in a moment is see, well, what does that other search say, that Path to Open search? But I feel like you can sort of tuck knowledge and behaviour behind labels like this to break down complicated tasks so that you can do one thing at a time. So this first row here is saying whatever other results we get back, they're not going to be in any of the results of this Path to Open query. Fine. And then we also want a couple of other conditions. The product form should be a DG, so that's an ebook, an electronic book text, and there should be an ISBN present. So, this is clearly a complicated and very specific and nuanced use case, but what we're doing here within the report setup is to try to break things down as much as possible to keep all of our heads straight, and so that when colleagues come and see this report setup later, they're going to be able to reason with it and make sense of it. So it's kind to your present self, it's kind to yourself of tomorrow when you've forgotten what you did yesterday, and it's kind to your colleagues as well to break things down nicely. So let's have a look at what's going on a little bit further. So next tab. This is the report. I'm just going to go to the next bit. Yeah, this is the report. That is the Path to Open report. We've got the name up here, Path to Open, and you can name these reports whatever you want. So definitely make it meaningful to you. It doesn't need to adhere to any words that you don't inherently understand. This report has been called Path to Open, and I'm going to press back on this PowerPoint thing. That's where that Path to Open tag comes from there. It's not some special onyxy thing, it's the word that you've used yourself. So honestly, it's navigating PowerPoint is the keynote, is the real trick to these live streams, I tell you. So on this Path to Open report, what are the conditions here? The conditions are that the open access funder's name contains the words Path to Open. I mean, it's kind of straightforward, isn't it? But it's given us a really broken down approach to this gnarly and difficult problem. So we can see that when we go to the list page for all of our reports, we've got one report called Path to Open, and we've got another report called this data aggregator's eBooks for Onyx, and that references the previous search. So that is our reporting spotlight for the week, really to demonstrate that you can get some very specific business cases put to you, either your colleagues or yourself, or external parties say we need this specific set of challenges. And as we've done on previous live streams, the challenge is to really break down in your own mind, away from the computer, what is it that this report needs to generate, and work backwards from that and try and break it down as much as possible. And absolutely raise a ticket. This is absolutely what we're here for, because once we've talked to each other on support, and once we've between all of us articulated the right report for you, then it's saved in your account, and then you can keep referencing it, duplicate it, and maybe tweak it. You can. Oh, it's a screenshot. I would be able to click on the very challenge today. Click on the three dots, and there's a duplicate option there. So you can absolutely duplicate these reports, give them a tweak, keep them as sort of live ways of getting regular reports that you have to do every month, that sort of thing. So that's all good. So yes, if any of that seems appealing or relevant or familiar, or you're faced with that sort of challenge in the coming week or so, then drop us a line and we'll sort you out. Right, we're really motoring today. Back to our PowerPoint, and from our own correspondence. I mean, really, everything is either a report or from our own correspondence, isn't it? Because that's what we're trying to do. Trying to get data into the system, data out of the system, and then make sure that we're communicating nicely about all of it. So this is all a construct, isn't it? But here we are. From our own correspondence this week came up the subject of in-house subject duplications. And a treasured client wrote in and said, it would be really great if we can please be able to duplicate all of the subjects when we duplicate a work, not only the keywords BIC, which is now deprecated, BZAC and Thema. So let's have a look to see what we did about this. And the main thing to say is that we went away and wrote some code to improve the system. So this is why I've included this one in this week, because I want to narrate what happens when a support ticket comes in and it's asking for something that we don't currently have the capability to do. And I just want to make sure that everybody knows that what we do is we check that it's going to be a relevant and useful feature for all clients, and then we write the code. And we don't charge money for it. That is how we go about our day. We write code to always improve our software so that all of our clients benefit. Again, seems like it shouldn't need saying, but I felt like maybe it does need saying, because you can't ever make assumptions, can you? So that is what really I'm saying this, so to sort of solicit support tickets, and sort of, you don't need permission from me, but this is us saying it is entirely appropriate and within the terms of our understanding of what we're each trying to do here, for you to write in and say, I don't think Constance does this, let me know if it does, and if it doesn't, could you please make it happen? And that is how we work. So this is a small example of that happening. And so since receiving that ticket, that work has been done and we have shipped it. And now when you go to add new or from the works index page, there's also an add new button. We can click duplicate work, what needs to happen, what's going to happen. We can, make it even more Shakespeare versus Cthulhu's. And there's subjects being ticked, and now that is going to copy over the in-house subjects, as well as the thema subjects, as well as the BZAC subjects and the big subject codes, and NER as well if you use that subject classification scheme. Yes, so not really much to report except for, as I say, sort of talking about how we get requests in, we check that they're going to be helpful for everyone, we make the change and we communicate it on our documentation. And in live streams like this, there are a lot of changes happening every week within Consonance. And from our point of view, it's really important to balance the stability, the sense of stability that one needs in one's sort of corporate software. You don't want things changing and shifting all the time. You don't want pop-ups saying, great news, we've made a change, because whenever I have to use other people's systems, it never feels like that change has been made for me. It feels like it's change for change's sake. So we definitely don't want to cause sort of a sense of impermanence. But there's always improvements we can make, and almost things behind the scenes, configuration improvements, performance improvements, accessibility improvements, the way that we test code, the way that we roll it out and accommodate the emerging requirements of the trade. The wealth of legislative changes that we've seen this year, have to be accommodated. And so, our work, the team's work here, is very much about hearing and understanding what's working, what needs to develop, what needs to change, and doing it. And we don't. That's not our business model. We're not sort of waiting here for a big juicy support ticket to come in so that we can send an invoice. No, it is part of the extremely, good value user license that is already paid. So our intention is to build the best bibliographic publishing management software in the world. We need your help to do it with your wonderful support tickets. And this is what we do with our days, trying to make the world a little bit better through duplicating works properly and other stuff. Great. What is next on our list? What's new? This is very premature. Goodness me, because we haven't remotely got close to shipping this yet. But it's exciting. There have been some accessibility legislation changes. Our code has been getting more and more and more efficient over the last few years, and the time has finally come, as a result, these sort of two things coming together, to enable us to have the option to see Consonance within dark mode. Now, I'm not going to even show you any previews of dark mode within the app itself, but what I am going to show you is some precursor stuff. And so if you were to go, for instance, to our marketing website, which is normally you go to web.consonance.app if you're using the public cloud. If you're using one of the private clouds for specific clients, I won't say your URL out loud, but you know that you go to a particular URL. The marketing website, and the website where the user documentation is at www.consonance.app. And so here we are, we're actually on that website right now. And it looks like this. Talks about, how Consonance is chosen by the best publishers, which is you, dear viewer, and a whole bunch of stuff. And you'll see that there's now a icon on the top nav bar, and if you hover over it, the title of that icon is Switch to Dark Mode. So that is something that I can press, and the page will switch to dark mode. But before I do that, I'm going to turn my entire system to dark mode, because that is another way to effect that change. So I think we are just out of view on this screen grab setup thing. But if you're on a Mac, in fact, you're going to have to be on a Mac to hear what I'm saying, because I don't actually know how you do this on a Windows machine. So that may be an opportunity for you to do some research. I'm sure you know already. But on a Mac, it's the Apple at the top of the page. Click on System Settings, and that comes up. You're looking for Appearance, and Dark Mode is at the top there. And if I click on Dark Mode, then my operating system has gone into dark mode, and so has the Consonance page. And so now the content is all the same, but now we have a different set of colours applied. You know how dark mode works. And as you can imagine, what I'm building up to is saying, and we are going to be doing dark mode within the Consonance.app itself. And when that happy day comes, in the not impossibly far off future, then the screenshots on this marketing website, they're also going to be more commensurate with the dark mode approach to things. So now I'm in operating system dark mode. I can override that if I want to at the website level. So up on our nav bar at the top of the page here, you can see we've got a sun icon. The title of that is Switch to Light Mode. And I'm sorry about your eyes. Actually, I'm just about to switch to light mode, so the whole page is going to go light. So take evasive action. Okay, 3, 2, 1. And then we're back into light mode. And dark mode can absolutely, you toggle it back on and off. So yes, so one of these projects, you have to build up to it. So we've decided to make the marketing website support light and dark mode, honouring the system settings. I changed it so that the marketing website also honours the prefer motion off settings as well, which we did in a previous live stream, I think, and you access from the same Apple up there. So if you prefer your website not to wibble around too much, then that you'll be in a happy place when you come to the marketing website. Yes, so that's what's happening this week. Very happy to hear feedback, of course. It's a little bit one step removed, isn't it? The marketing website from the actual application. But if any of these colours offend thine eyes, or don't go far enough, or are too garish or anything, then absolutely let us know. They do all adhere to the AAA contrast standards. They should do anyway. Running Lighthouse, which is the Google tooling on this, returns pretty high scores. So we're hopefully it's looking good. But absolutely let us know if for your particular comfort and enjoyment of your work software, you'd like us to work on alternatives. We are extremely enthusiastic and happy to help on that. Great. So that's dark mode. And now look, I'm in dark mode, and it's so interesting, isn't it? When you put dark mode on in your system settings, and then you go around lots of different services and you think, gosh, interesting who supports dark mode and who doesn't, isn't it? I went to my Gmail last night, and it was about 11 o'clock at night, and like a suffusion of brightness took me over. So yes, it's we've all got to play nicely together on the internet, haven't we? And if a user says that they have a particular preference, then I really think that their preference should be honoured. So more of that sort of thing to come in the near future. Right, next thing is a bonus power move. And when I was planning this week's agenda, And I was thinking, oh, we must have done a whole load of power moves, but can there be any power moves left? Am I going to have to start, doing literal throwing shapes? I can't believe I forgot about this one and I haven't shared it with you so far. Because when you need it, you really need it. And it is such a, it's a power move. It's something that you're going to be delighted with yourself about, and your colleagues are going to be delighted as well. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Product metadata change reports. This is the sort of thing where you either have a recipient who needs to know whether something has changed, and you say, that's fine, we'll just send you an incremental Onyx feed, and they look at you blankly, and then they say, I don't know what you're talking about, and you think, oh my word, the chances of ever being able to send this recipient a data feed are moderate to low. So you think, okay, well, I'll just simply email you the changes or put them in a spreadsheet or something, and you sort of feel the energy draining from you, and you think, how am I going to get a list of everything that's changed in Consonance in the last week? And so that's what this power move is all about. I've gone to the navigation area here and I am clicking on CSV exports in data, exchange and admin. And the page is going to load, and at the top of the page is the usual stuff, which I hope you know about. Some bulk CSV exports where it's nothing elegant. You dump all of your data into a huge CSV. The way we've done the programming, it sort of skips the web stack, so it's very efficient, very fast, and you can get hundreds of thousands of rows of CSV downloaded just like that. So these are useful for when they're useful, when you need data dumps for some reason, as opposed to an elegant feed or some element of nuance and elegance. But scroll down and you'll see these product metadata change reports. And the way it works, in fact, I'll just scroll down so that you can see, each of these links will download a different CSV file to your computer. And looking at the dates tells you what sort of data you're going to see in the CSV file. So from the 1st of March 2025, 5 months ago, if I click on this, I'm going to get the changes. But if I scroll down further, you can see 6 months ago, then you can see 7 months ago, and then you can see 8 months ago, and then it keeps on going. And they do get chopped off eventually, but it's really handy. If you go back to, what's this, 2023, almost 2 years ago, and you can see it's daily. So if you get one of those odd requests, for we need to know what's changed in the system for reasons in the last 4 days, then you'll absolutely be able to find the correct file in here. And so if I click on this option and download it, then I'm going to see all of the metadata changes since that point, which is quite a long time ago. And this is a test system, remember. So we've got the client and the ISBN and the title. What attribute changed? Now this is necessarily going to be a little bit computery, because we are not expecting you to have this as, primo human reading, but it's got the data that you need to make sense of. So for this row, the pub date changed from a value of the 2nd of the 1st 2026 to the value of nothing. This is the product ID. Excel's formatting date's funny, but that's the from date and that's the to date. I have to make the thing bigger. This next line, the attribute is publishing status. It changed from active to cancelled. That's the product ID. So, it's just all there. So really, really helpful to be able to see. And that's like page count has changed. What else has changed? Publishing status. All good, useful stuff. So hot-foot it to this bit of the system on your account. As I say, don't save. As I say, it's on from the main menu. If you click and you go to CSV exports and it's there. And just have it in your back pocket, really. I mean, hopefully, I mean, in an ideal world, you're not having to download CSVs and email them off to people. But when you need this sort of functionality, it's super handy to know that it's just sitting there patiently waiting for you to download it. Yes, and then you can effect your incredible power move and round of applause from all of your colleagues. Oh, how did you do it? Oh, it was nothing, a mere bagatelle, you can say. So that'll be great. Yes, great. So power move all done. We've done our agenda for this week. So I will see you next week. I thought what we would do, just to shake it up for 1 week, I thought I would do the sort of 1 hour video that I often present to potential new clients. Because I did one this week. And it was enormously good fun, and we, covered all of the what I think is, the real essence of the system, the stuff that you need to know about, so that you can decide whether it's going to provide value to you and your team. And as I was doing it, I was thinking, God, I think this would make a very good live stream. I think it would be quite useful to have one of those sort of top-down once-overs. Such as I talk about when I'm talking to people who haven't got any experience with the system whatsoever. So there may be some bits that you'll think, I know that it's got a list of products, and I know that there's a reporting bit, and I know what an Onyx feed is. But I thought just for 1 week, it would be a bit of a change, and it might be a nice panacea maybe to some of the great levels of detail that we go into each week. So that's what next week will be. It will still be a live stream. I will attempt to, do a whole demo, putting on all of the theatricals during a live stand-up piece. Oh dear. But yes, we'll do a soup to nuts. This is what Consonance is. And then, long-time viewers can say, I know all of that, but you'll know that there's a good video where if you've got new starters, it's a pithy way of going through what the system does. And also I'll be able to update the YouTube channel and say, if you're considering Consonance, this is the video to look at. Because there is a demo video there already, but it's a year and a half old now, and we've done a lot in a year, so needs updating. Yep, so that will be next week. Great fun and delights all round. I hope you have a fruitful and calm week in the next few days or so. Where are we? We're end of July, coming into August. Well, let's hope that it stays nice and cool. It's lovely and cool up here in Scotland today, so long may that continue. Thank you very much indeed for watching. Do the like button thing, because it flatters my already enormous ego. But, can't have too many thumbs ups icons in this life, can we? And subscribe so that you don't miss all of the latest hot stuff, because things are changing so fast in Consonance that you got to stay on top of things. You've got to come along to your live streams every week. Know what all of the hot news is. Great. Well, thank you very much indeed for watching. Shall see you next week, and we'll do a full demo of Consonance. Great. Have a good one. See you later. Thank you.